The teenager accused in the shooting death of a 12-year-old was sentenced today for unrelated gun charges. More from inside the courtroom.
The principal of Shoal Creek Elementary takes the witness stand and testifies about the moment she learned someone had written an email threatening to shoot up the school.
We are taking out the middleman, and we are fundamentally reducing the cost to individuals.
Governor Newsom announces a new program to lower health care costs for Californians.
Americans are put on alert after a violent drone attack at a government building in Tijuana.
The Better Business Bureau has a warning for online shoppers about Halloween costume scams.
Decades of service, one big honor. Rotary names its new Mr. San Diego.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts right now.
A teenager accused of killing a 12-year-old at a house party in National City last year was sentenced in court today for unrelated assault and gun charges. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Simmons, in tonight for Carlo. CBS 8's Alex Cheney was in the courtroom today, and he joins us live with what happened there. Alex.
Well, today the judge sentenced Carlos Maldonado to 270 days probation. He had already pled guilty to the assault of a 14-year-old at Lincoln High School last year and gun charges.
I've had a lot of time to think about my actions as to why I'm here, and I've accepted that my actions brought me here where I am today.
In downtown court today, 19-year-old Carlos Maldonado apologized to the family of the 14-year-old boy he pled guilty to assaulting last October.
I should have de-escalated the situation. So from the bottom of my heart, I'm truly sorry if I caused any trauma.
However, the prosecution painted a different picture of Maldonado.
I have serious concerns that he is not here manipulating the court based on what I know of his character, based on the investigation that was done.
The deputy district attorney says Maldonado instigated the beating of a 14-year-old boy last October and also negligently fired off a gun in February of this year. In March, Maldonado was arrested for the shooting death of 12-year-old Elijah Smith last November, but was eventually released from custody.
I told the court today that I would have been arguing for state prison. However, given the court's indicated of 270 days, I thought that at the very least that's what should be imposed.
The judge said he did not consider the shooting death for today's sentencing.
I'm sentencing you today on the charges that have been filed by the prosecution, and whether you're under investigation for other crimes or not, that's not something I can take into consideration today.
The judge sentenced Maldonado to 270 days felony probation. He already has credit for 201 days served, so he will serve an additional 69 days before being released on 2 years probation. And today's sentencing was for those other charges. Now, as it comes to that shooting death of the 12-year-old in National City, that investigation still continues. Reporting live downtown, I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Thank you, Alex. The principal of Shoal Creek Elementary School took the witness stand today, telling a jury about the day back in December of 2023 when police told her someone had written an email threatening to commit a mass shooting at the school. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal was in federal court today and shares some of the emotional testimony.
Principal teared up today talking about the day this all happened back in December of 2023 when police showed up in her office. There were people in the courtroom gallery today who also teared up too.
What's causing you to get emotional?
It was a very traumatic day.
Shoal Creek Elementary Principal Harmina Emoto testified 2 hours after the school wrapped up its monthly Friday celebration with kids and their parents. Police told her someone named Lee Lore had written an email threatening to shoot up the school.
What was going through your head once you learned what the threat was?
Shock, disbelief, fear.
And fear for who?
For myself, for our kids on our campus, for anyone that was on our campus, for our community.
Principal Emoto testified she had limited information, but ultimately decided not to put the school into lockdown mode.
Going into a lockdown is really traumatic. When we practice it, we have kids that are very traumatized by it. They will cry. They are very upset, don't understand why they have to hide.
She testified San Diego police remained at the school that day. She monitored kids on the playground. But even after Lore's arrest hours later, she says she was still scared.
How long did that fear last?
that fear still stays with me till today.
Principal Emoto is the victim named in this criminal case, but Lore's public defender made it clear Lore never named her.
On December 1st of 2023, when Officer Valdez showed up to the school, he informed you that there was a threat made to Shoal Creek Elementary, right?
Yes.
It was not directed towards Harmina Emoto.
Correct.
It was specifically towards the entity of the school.
To our school, yes.
And he points out, even though you say you were scared, you weren't scared enough to put the school on lockdown.
If you disagreed with your supervisor or the police, you had the authority to enter into a lockdown, right?
Correct.
And he also went through this email that she sent home to parents where she wrote, there is no credible threat. She wrote, officers determined the threat wasn't credible. So his point is, you're scared now. You didn't convey that previously. So which is it? This trial continues tomorrow. Kelly Hessedal, CBS 8.
Governor Newsom is denying parole to former Charles Manson follower Patricia Krenwinkel yet again. The 77-year-old is serving a life sentence for her role in the 1969 Tate LaBianca murders. Krenwinkel was convicted of 7 counts of first-degree murder, including the killing of pregnant actress Sharon Tate. A state parole board recommended her release back in May, but in a written decision, Newsom said, in part, quote, she lacks the insight to be safely released. The governor praised her record in prison and also for her college degrees, but said she still poses a danger to society. Also today, Governor Newsom announced that California will start selling its own affordable insulin.
This makes California the first state to offer something like this. The medication will be available for purchase starting on January 1st of next year. A 5-pack of insulin pens will cost up to $55, about $11 per pen. Current retail prices can cost well over $100 per pen without insurance. This comes nearly 3 years after Newsom first announced a partnership to sell state-branded generic drugs at lower prices.
We are taking out the middlemen, and we are fundamentally reducing the cost to individuals, ultimately extending that to taxpayers themselves.
Coming up next in our next half hour, CBS 8 political reporter Jenny Hugg gives us a closer look at how this will impact diabetes patients across the state.
Mexican cartels launched a drone attack in Tijuana, putting Americans on alert. 3 drones dropped homemade explosives on a government office there.
No injuries were reported, but authorities are taking action. CBS 8's Abby Black is live in San Ysidro near the border with what's being done to help prevent future attacks. Abby?
The State Department says that they are not aware of any Americans that were injured in last night's drone attack, but they are watching the situation closely. Tonight, we're learning that there is a joint effort between U.S. and Mexico to stop these targets before they happen.
Surveillance video from the Baja California Attorney General's office shows explosives detonating in the parking lot of the anti-kidnapping unit, damaging 6 personal vehicles. In a late-night news conference, Attorney General Maria Elena Andrade explained how the attack unfolded around 7 p.m.
Estos artefactos explosivos.
Andrade says 3 homemade explosives, plastic bottles packed with nails and metal fragments, were dropped by drones. No injuries were reported. Andrade says the attack may be retaliation. Her office has cracked down on kidnapping gangs coming from other Mexican states. She says Baja California has not allowed kidnapping gangs to settle in the region, arresting multiple groups that have attempted to operate here. The U.S. consulate issued a security alert for Americans to avoid the area. The State Department told CBS 8 no U.S. citizens were affected by the attack. Andrade says that she does not believe the attack is connected to the U.S. border, but coordination with American authorities was immediate. Andrade says that U.S. helicopters are now conducting regular flyovers along the border. This is the latest in a series of attacks using military-style tactics by organized crime groups in Mexico. Last month, cars were set on fire at district attorney offices and Ensenada and Tijuana. Authorities suspect the same group is behind last night's sophisticated drone attack. Andrade says there's a joint U.S. effort using counter-drone technology to stop these attacks, but for security reasons, she won't reveal details. Andrade says investigators are now working around the clock using both traditional methods and new technology to track down those responsible for this attack.
Now, you may have seen some videos circulating on social media claiming to show this attack, but authorities tell us that those are fake. The only surveillance video that we've been able to verify is the one that was shared by the Baja California Attorney General's office, taken from their parking lot.
Abby, let me ask you a question before we let you go. How common are drone attacks by cartels? Do you know?
Well, they're becoming more frequent and sophisticated, Stephanie. There's a report that shows that in the 6-month span earlier this year, the cartels flew drones along the U.S. border 60,000 times. And last year, a cartel drone attack in southern Mexico killed 6 people. Reporting live in San Ysidro, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Concerning trend, Abby, thank you. Now to some sad news in the world of music tonight.
Ace Frehley, the original lead guitarist and a founding member of the glam rock band Kiss, has died. Frehley's agent says he died peacefully, surrounded by family in Morristown, New Jersey, after a recent fall at his home. Frehley lived in San Diego at one point and came into our studios about 9 years ago for an interview with our Jeff Sevely. 2 years before that, in 2014, Frehley and his bandmates were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Ace Frehley was 74 years old.
LA County health officials confirm another case of Mpox and are calling it a more severe strain.
We'll have those details still ahead. Plus, federal officials say they found the people behind those toll road scam texts that have tricked countless drivers. I know I've gotten a dozen of those.
Oh yeah, we all have. And a consumer alert over Halloween costume scams. We're working for you, sharing how to avoid becoming a victim.
And after a stormy, wintry, almost like start to the work week, boy, has Southern California weather returned. I'm meteorologist Sean Stiles. We'll take a look at that and your weekend coming up.